Grigor Dimitrov collapsed in pain and left center court in tears. The match was over, but Jannik Sinner stayed. He didn't celebrate. He carried his opponent's bags. This wasn't about victory. It was about respect, friendship, and raw humanity. Wimbledon, center court, grass so pristine it almost looks painted. The kind of stage where heroes are crowned, and sometimes stories are written that no one saw coming. On one side, Jannik Sinner, the world number one, calm, calculated, the Italian machine who hadn't dropped serve in 36 straight games, a man on a mission, and on the other, Grigor Dimitrov, 34 years old, a former world number one. 3. Elegant, fluid, forever called Baby Federer, but never quite given his due. This was supposed to be just another fourth-round clash, but what unfolded? It became one of the most human moments tennis has seen in years. The match began with fireworks. Dimitrov was on fire, breaking Sinner early, winning the first set 6-3. The second, 7-5. And the 2 sets to love. The upset of the tournament was brewing, and then everything changed. Just 2 games into the third set, Dimitrov tosses the ball, launches an ace, and suddenly crumples, not metaphorically, physically. He clutched his chest, right pectoral, the pain written all over his face. The racket dropped. The air left center court. Grigor Dimitrov had fallen, not from a shot, but from something worse, his own body. Medical staff rushed in. Dimitrov lay on the grass, tears in his eyes. Sinner, he didn't celebrate, he didn't turn away, he walked straight to his opponent, knelt down, and waited. The stadium didn't know what to do. There was no roar, no chant, just silence. Dimitrov left the court briefly for treatment. The scoreboard froze, 6-3, 7-5, 2-2. He returned minutes later, head down, and whispered to the umpire. He couldn't go on, and then center court stood up, not for the winner, for the one who lost. The applause wasn't polite. It was painful. The kind of ovation that comes with heartbreak. But what happened next, that's what made this story unforgettable. As Dimitrov limped toward his bench, visibly shaken, Jannik Sinner didn't just pack his own gear. He walked to Dimitrov, grabbed his bags, and carried them. Not just the light ones. All of them. Sinner walked beside him, silent, respectful, carrying the belongings of the man who had just given him a fight he didn't ask for, and a win he never wanted. There were no camera poses, no fake smiles, just 2 players walking off the court, one broken, the other carrying more than just weight. That image, it exploded online. Pure class, a true champion. This is why we love tennis. And then came the quote from Sinner himself. I don't take this as a win at all. This is just a very unfortunate moment to witness for all of us. That line hit fans hard. Because in that moment, it wasn't about rankings or draws. It was about character. Sinner continued, he's a good friend of mine. We understand each other very well off the court. If there was a chance he could play the next round, he would deserve it. No PR spin, no cliches, just raw honesty. For those who followed Dimitrov's career, this moment was especially cruel. Here's a man who was once hailed as the next big thing, the backhand like Federer, the footwork like Novak, the charm like no one else. But fate? It had other plans. This was his 5th straight Grand Slam retirement. Wimbledon 2024. Knee injury versus Medvedev, US Open 2024. Adductor injury versus Tiafoe Australian Open 2025. Hip injury versus Passero French Open 2025. Thigh issue versus Ethan Quinn. And now, Wimbledon 2025. Pectoral muscle versus Sinner. It was a cruel pattern. A career defined not by what he achieved, but by what his body took away from him. Yet, fans never turned their backs, because Dimitrov never gave up. He kept showing up year after year with grace, class, and that smooth-as-butter backhand. And in his darkest on-court moment, center court gave him love. No trophy, no 5th set, but maybe the loudest applause of his life. And then there's Sinner, only 23, already a Grand Slam champion, already world number one. But beyond the rankings, he's quickly becoming the emotional leader of the sport. This isn't his first moment of grace either. Fans still remember how he consoled young French player Arthur Fils after a tough loss. They remember his calm handshake with Djokovic in Rome, the post-match hug with Alcaraz last year. Now, this, carrying Dimitrov's bags, no drama, just decency. There's something different about him. Not loud like Kyrgios, not robotic like some past champions. He's balanced, centered, still hungry, but human. And fans feel that. He's one of the few players you can root for no matter who he's playing against. This moment didn't just prove his sportsmanship. It cemented his place as the man tennis can proudly follow into the next era. Every sport has its rituals. The final whistle, the buzzer beater, the handshake. But tennis? It has something more. It has this unspoken code, respect, dignity, sportsmanship. It's why we remember Federer's 2009 tears in front of Nadal, why we admired Nadal checking on team mid-match, why Carlos Alcaraz's comfort towards Zverev at the US Open made us emotional, and now we have Sinner carrying Dimitrov's bags. It's not about who won the match, it's about what was carried off the court. Pain, respect, grace. And if you're a Dimitrov fan, this isn't the ending you wanted, but maybe, just maybe, it's the moment he'll be remembered for. And if you're a Sinner fan, you're not just rooting for a player anymore. You're following someone who gets it, someone who knows that being number one. One isn't just about scorelines, it's about how you treat others when the lights go out. Look, I've watched a lot of tennis in my life, and I've seen a lot of heartbreaks, epic wins, like brutal losses be able but what happened between Jannik Sinner and Grigor Dimitrov on that court, that wasn't just tennis. That was something deeper. This wasn't a match summary. This was a man carrying the weight of another player's pain, literally. I'll be honest with you. When I saw Jannik pick up those bags, I froze, not because of the gesture itself, but because of what it meant. In a world where winning is everything, this wasn't about winning at all. And Dimitrov, my God, that one hurts. He was playing like the Grigor we all fell in love with years ago. Fluid, elegant, fearless. And then his body gave up. Again, it's cruel. It's unfair. But it's real. And maybe that's why this moment hit so many of us so hard, because it reminded us what sport can be at its best. Not ruthless, not viral, but human. So yeah, this video isn't just about a kind act or an injury. It's about the soul of tennis. And if you're still here watching, I think you feel it too. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Did this moment hit you the same way? What do you think it says about the future of tennis? Let's talk. Let's remember, and let's never forget that sometimes the walk-off court says more than the match itself. One day, people might forget the score. They might forget how many aces were served. They might even forget what round this was, but they won't forget this walk. Two men, one limping, the other carrying, not for the cameras, not for applause, just because it was the right thing to do. Grigor Dimitrov may never win a slam, but he helped show the world what class looks like in defeat. And Jannik Sinner, he didn't just walk into the quarterfinals. He walked into tennis, history, respect, real, raw, forever. I'm Tennis Titans, and I'll see you after the next big twist at Wimbledon.